Alright, today I want to show you how to create one of these, which is a waste grid, they call it. I don't know why it's called a waste grid, it sounds weird to me, but it allows you to align your material to make sure it's aligned properly and exactly the same as what you see in LightBurn. So if I draw something here, how do I know that when I place my stuff here, it's exactly the same coordinates that LightBurn is seeing here, that my machine needs to see the same coordinates here. So how does my machine know where that is? So you burn one of these grids on a piece of wood. And that piece of wood is big enough to hold your machine, because you're going to bolt your machine on top of this in the corners too. Your machine's going to sit on top of this. You're going to burn this grid in the middle, and that gives you a guide to place your material, so you know that you're going to print it properly without screwing this up. So this is how you do that. I didn't know in the beginning how to do this, but I'm going to create my own. So this helps me learn LightBurn too. So we have, the first thing you need to do is make sure that your device, mine is a Ray 5 10 watt, is set up correctly, meaning is the grid coordinates set up properly. So I'm going to go to laser tools and just look at my device settings, and I've already set up my device, but I want to make sure that the grid is 400 by 400, and it is. That's what I'm seeing here. And one thing to note is that these grids you see out here are going to 390 because they like to put a safety cushion around the edges, so that your laser doesn't hit the sides. I guess if you go all the way to 400 by 400, somehow your head can hit the side of your machine, I guess. I don't know, but I didn't have a limit switch on mine either. It didn't come with one, which made me mad. Actually, I had to buy it, limit switches for the Ray 5, which I felt like should have been included for all the money I paid. But I have not installed the limit switches yet. So I'm going to go with this safety. It's fine for me. What this means is you're always going to work in a 390 by 390 area. And I can really take advantage of the 400 by 400, which is fine, because we also need to add numbers on the side, and so that gap that we're not designing in will be used for numbers, to print numbers, and that's kind of all works out, right? So this is how you create the grid. There's a tool in here called grid array. So what you do is you create a couple lines. I'm going to create a line at 390, so 0 to 390. So I'm going to start at 1010, not 00, because we're not going 400 by 400, we're going 390 by 390. So I'm going to do 1010, and I'm going to click. I got the line tool. I'm going to hold down shift because it gives me an ability to, just like in Photoshop or something else, to go straight, to be accurate and not have to fiddle around with trying to get the pixels just right. So I'm at 390. I'm going to click the button again and hit escape. Cool, we have our line. I'm just going to go right ahead while we're here and just go to arrange. Actually, I'm going to select it first. So I'm going to hit the selector, select it. Now I can click grid array. And what I want is, it brings me right to the x-axis, the line I'm on, because it's the the y-axis actually. Let me try something real quick. So, okay, so we're on the y-axis here. It's asking how many x columns. So how many columns you want going across? That's why it's saying x columns. From the y-axis, how many x columns do you want to go across? I think we want 39. Yeah, 39, just one less. Okay, so 39 gives me all the lines going across to start my grid. Now we just need lines going up, right? So that's cool. We got that. Now we're going to create, we'll change colors in a minute. I'm going to change these colors so they're easier to see. But I'm going to go ahead and draw the next line, which is, I think if I did that, can I do this now? Let's see. I'm going to start at 1010 again. Hold down shift. Oops, no, this isn't okay. So you run into this problem where you try to start at the same origin and try to start drawing lines. It either creates a closed square, or I don't know, it gets in the way. So my workaround is to just create it a little bit lower and then move it back up. So I'm going to create the line going across a little bit lower. So 10-0, click, hold down shift, go to right here because we want to keep it at 390. There we go, 390, click, escape. And now I'm gonna move this up now because I want to be where it needs to be. So click on it, arrow up twice. Now that it's highlighted, I'm going to go ahead and say, let's create the second part of the grid, which is going up. So we want rows, right? So I'm going to do 40, and there we go. We want 40 rows on the y-axis, and so we gave it 40 rows. We just gave it 40 rows, and now we have a grid. Make sure, okay, that's all good. I'm gonna go ahead and change the color. So when you create a thing, it creates a layer for it, just like anything, like Photoshop, right? So I'm gonna change this so we can see this better. Some of these colors you can't use to print. I don't know. It's just for like marking stuff, kind of like if you had a mark, like a carpenter, a pencil or something. I don't know, but you can't use some of these numbers to print. So if you select this and you notice that you can't, it's not actually print those lines, it's probably because of the color. So I'm gonna, can I go pink on that? Yeah, so let's just keep this white actually, kind of like almost white. And then we're gonna change the other one. So we're gonna select the other one, which is red. I'm gonna change that to be something, I don't know, like yellow or something. Maybe something different than that. Let's do something like easier to see. I don't know. Green's fine. Blue's, any of these are. Let's do this. So now we have a grid. I don't know what this is. Oh, you know what we didn't? We screwed up. We gave it too many lines here. So let's back up. Let's back up. Because I don't know how to modify it. After I do this, I'm not able to modify this for some reason. I don't know why. I just probably don't know how to yet, or so. There's no way to like go back and edit it. I don't know. But why is it saying width 380? I went to 390. I don't know. Huh. That's weird. It is 390. I don't know. But let's do this again. So range, we wanted to do 39 over here. So 39. There we go. Now let's change the colors. Let's do yellow on this one. Let's do white on the other one or something. Okay. Yeah, that yellow's hard to see. Let's change the yellow again to orange. Shit. We gotta select it first. So select the yellow. It's hard to even see which one's yellow. Okay, so this one's yellow. Let's make it white. Or no, let's make this green or something. Or make it orange. Let's do orange. Cool. So now we have our grid. That's number one, right? So I'm gonna save this to Dave. Waste. Grid. Final. Replace. Cool. We have a grid. We need numbers, right? So this is pretty cool. So the way you do this is you're going to use the same technique, but there's a couple cool things you can do in here. So we want these numbers going across on each side. So we're going to start creating numbers. So what we're going to do is use the letter tool, and I'm going to create my first number as not a number, but actually we're going to use it as a variable placeholder. So I'm going to show you this in a second. So we're going to say 0%, and I'll show you what this means. And I'm going to make this do this again. I want the font to be small, so let's do this again. So %0, font needs to be 5. There we go. I'm going to move this up so I can get to it better. I'm going to zoom in now. We're going to move this to first one, kind of position where you want it to show up. Like we want it to show up in the middle here, right? Like maybe like right here. Right in the middle of these lines. So that one's cool. Now what we can do is we repeat these and have it increment the numbers for us. It's a little involved, but once you do it once and you can reuse it, right? So you can reuse this. So we have %0. I'll show what this means in a minute. If you go to, no, what you want to do next is look for the variable text tab. And if you don't see it, go to window and enable it. Then you'll see this over here. This allows us to start iterating through an array of numbers. that we give it when we give the array numbers through a CSV file. So I'm going to browse and get my CSV file that I've already created. That CSV file just has this. It has the numbers I want it to create going across, which is in 10 increments of 10, right? I don't have to type all this myself, so I'm going to create it once in a spreadsheet and reuse this number list, this CSV. So this LightBurn is going to consume this, iterate through each one of these, and populate. What we'll have in a minute is we'll have bunches 0% going across, and it'll go through each one of those and populate it with each one of these, right? So then we have numbers. So it's kind of like a code loop, right? A for loop in code. It's just using the CSV as the data source. Okay, so we have this. Now, this is really important. If you don't do this in the right order, this stupid software won't let you change it, and it won't work. So this needs to be a merge CSV type of text. So it's a smart text, and it knows to look over here and bind to whatever you give it here to do the magic, basically. So that's good. We also want to make sure auto advance is on. We also want to make sure when we go here, go back to here and make sure that this auto increment value is on. So now that that's set properly, we can actually get this to work. So now the first thing we want to do is repeat these going across. So what we're going to do is just use again the array. Make sure I'm recording this. Yes, the array tool, and I want it to be what, 38. Hold on, let me make sure. Let me zoom out again. So I think it's 38. All right, let's try it again. Selection tool, range, array, 38 was it? Yeah, 38. So now it stops here. And so now watch what happens. Since you've imported this file, it's read the file and it knows that there's 38 cells, basically. It says, oh, there's 38 things here. Cool, it knows about it, right? And you want to start iterating at 0, 0, basically saying, I want you to start here, which is the first column, first row. So that's set properly. Now watch the magic. Hit test and look what happens. It does the magic. It's just testing to see if this magic's going to work, right? So you're going to test it to see if it can read this and populate these, right? So it looks like it is, right? So good. Awesome. That works. Oh, shit, we're at 380. I did the same mistake before. So, interesting. I'm going to continue this this anyways. Well, I shouldn't. I should fix this. But the thing is, we want this to be 400 by 400. Why is it going to 380? I thought I fixed this problem. So 10, 20, 30, 50, 60, 70. Huh. Maybe we should have gone all the way out to 400. I don't understand how they're getting... Okay, so what this is... Okay, I get it now. So 390 actually is 400. So if we want out, it would be 390, which actually would be 400. That's what it is. Okay, I got it a little bit wrong on the safety part of it. Yeah, but the thing is, if we go out one more, we can't put numbers, because if you're outside the grid, it won't print it, right? How do we get this working? I don't know. I'm going to continue this and do another video after this. I just want to get you understanding how to create just a grid and how to create these numbers going across. So we've just done this. So we know that this works. Okay, I'm going to let it... Now, what we need to do is duplicate this, right? So all we're going to do is just select it and at least in the Mac, it's probably Control-D on the Windows maybe. I don't know. Mac is Command-D, which duplicates it. And then we can just... Whoops, shit. We can just move it and then rotate it. We want this to be starting with 10. So yes, we don't want this. We want this side going this way. Again, if you hold select down, it'll help you snap it to 90 degree angle easier. So there, is that 90? It's not 90. Let me move this over first. This is 90, right? Oops, hold on. Let's move this up here. Why am I not seeing 90? It's happened before. Like, why is it not showing me? I don't know. It's 90 degrees. Let's put this where it needs to be. Let me zoom in so I can see it better. So, is it placed right? Yes, it's right in the middle of that number. So we got that. And just keep duplicating like this. So we want this to have 10 starting up here. So we're going to duplicate this again. And then I hate how this bed doesn't work very well in here. I can't move it very easily like you can in the CAD programs. So I'm going to hold down shift and then there. Hold down shift first. That's what I did wrong. Hold down shift first and then you get snapped to 90 degrees very easily. So hold down shift and then do your thing. So make sure these are aligned. Make sure looks good here. We also want to make sure it's centered horizontally pretty good. All right, so that's cool. Maybe a little bit closer. Oops. Okay. All right, almost done. And let's do the last part. I'll do a part 2 where I actually fix this to get 390 instead of 380, but that's coming next. So we get this, and now we want to create the final, duplicate it, rotate it, because we know that 10 is on the other end there. So then move this down here. Zoom in. Okay, cool. That's perfect. Now, watch the magic. Here we go. Look at that. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Is that right? Let's make sure it's right. No, this should be... okay, so we need to flip this one. These are... this one needs to be flipped. Yeah, because see, this is 380 over here. So it's... yeah, let's flip this guy. Flip this all the way around. Hold on shift. Flip it. Because it snaps. Now it should be good. We can actually make this a different color. Let's do that. Let's make this text a different color. So I'm going to select the text. I wonder if I can do all... see, you can't do all 4 at once. It's weird. It's like... because each one of these are a layer. Because if I go to layers... yeah, it's not, so anyways, I'm going to do one by one. It'll add a layer, which is fine. Let's make this yellow or something. There we go. Yellow. Yellow. I guess it's using the same layer. Okay, that's cool. Yellow. Alright, so there's our numbers. Let's try a different color. It's good enough. Yellow. Cool. So now if we test this out, go back to our variable text. This is cool. Awesome, right? So this is how you create a grid. It's a little bit off here. Let's move this over a bit. Anyways, that's how you do this. And then obviously we're not done. There's a second video coming next. We're going to start creating a center point. We'll probably create maybe a circle, a couple circles so we can place things if it's round or something. We'll probably create a couple squares. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure what style I want yet. Probably something like this, where we have a center, crosshairs, what do we call those? And we'll do that next. So test this out. This is how it looks. It's so good. Very happy. So I had to do this. I had to learn this today, how to do this, and learning this will help me create other things later on, in the software. So you should go through this. Like you need to know how to use these, grid array, because you're going to be using that kind of stuff. I'm sure at some point. Maybe not at first, but you will want to know how to do this later. And just learning the simple things like how to select stuff, how to rotate, how to snap things and make it easier to be more accurate. That kind of stuff is what you go through here. It's like a kata almost, right? So go through this and do it yourself once before you, take my tutorial and try it. So, all right. So stay tuned till the next one.